Welcome everyone. This is Will, KMac Vintage, coming to you with a live Eshy stream this afternoon. And I already have Sean in here with me, so it's always nice to have someone to Eshy chat with. But basically, what this stream is for is to give a little update on some of the things I've been working on. If you all saw my stream last night, I was making some of these longer board Tash actually 20s. So really, it's just the board with a pick chip and a capacitor on the back. It's got our actually 3D printed DB19 connector with the pins, with only the pins in it that we need, so that we can keep the cost down. And it's got an SD card reader on it. Um, I built it last night. I had two of them practically ready, but I needed the chips and that, and I programmed it, and um, it wouldn't work last night. I couldn't get it to work, so this morning I jumped back on. Luke, hey there, Luke. How are you? I jumped back on this morning and did my testing and so forth. And let me go to the scope view, and then I can show you exactly what I found and how I fixed it, because it is fixed. Well, I'm pretty sure you can see right there. Oh, let me focus. There. I had to do a little botch. The Mosey and the Miso, the master in, slave out, and the master out, slave in, were actually they were actually flipped. So I had to cut the traces and then jump it and put it to actually correct. What the problem was this pin here, which is pin 8. Okay, was actually going to here, and pin 9 was going to to here. So sorry, not actually here. Um, this pin 8 was going here, and this one was going here. So I just had to flip them. So I cut this one on this side of the board. I cut this one on the other side of the board, and then I could jump them, and now it works. On the other one, it was the same issue. I did this one a little bit different. You can this was my first trial one, and it just came undone. But it's all right. I can solder that back. Um, it's a very simple little fix. My soldering iron has to heat up. There we go. Okay, we're back. So this one here, yeah, pin 9 had to come here instead of to here. You can see where I cut it down there. Okay, because it was originally going to here, and I cut it right there. You can see the cut. You see, so this was going to here, but I needed it to come here, and pin 8 was coming to here, and I needed it to go there. So on the other side, I did, well, you can't see it because it's underneath the board, but on the other side, I did the other fix. So I did that botch fix, and let's plug this into. We'll plug that in and start it up. Although here on the desk view, you're not going to see too much.
So now that it's fixed, are you going to do another run of your boards with the
Yes,
fix?
yes. I'm not the one with the actually schematic and the board drawing for this. Joakim has it in actually Sweden. He hasn't put it on our share yet. But yeah, I already spoke with him, and he does see the fault, and he fixed it already. And if you look on my screen here, I'm now booting up, and I'm basically booting up off of that alone.
That's really cool.
So, and this one works also. This is the original Tash, and really reason for this board is because this was way too expensive. When because I want to make these things not so expensive. I mean, it's this is a hobby for everyone. Um, so my goal was to try to come up with a much actually cheaper card. And right now at base cost, I'm down to like actually $11 now. Okay, and that is just cost.
Yeah, shipping's going to cost more than your actual build.
Well, it won't ship from Cayman. Okay, I built these, and then when I go up to Florida, I send them to my friend Jake, and then whenever one is sold, he will ship it out. So, and he is in the states. So
Oh, that'll help then.
it won't come from me. It won't come from me in Cayman. No, no. I know that would be stupid crazy. But if we look at the screen now, and we can see it actually loaded up, and it's all there.
Looks good.
But because really on this one, from what I said last night, was when you look at this SD card reader here, this is from Adafruit. It's very expensive. It is like actually $10. Just this one header connection right here is, I mean, stupid crazy price. And then this the actually metal actually DB19 connectors, which are rare and hard to find, but they're also expensive. So that was making this actually device about actually 25 dollars. And I mean, really, it shouldn't be that expensive. So now with this one here, we have a much cheaper priced SD card reader that we buy off of Amazon. We get the board. We're using our plastic, our own resin printed DB19 connectors and the pins in there. Okay. Really, still the most expensive thing on this board is really this actually DB19 connector. I mean, you're
Yeah,
looking.
I,
I
I
mean,
think I think a big mess of wires cornered the market on those connectors.
yeah, it's they can be found, but I mean, I've seen them from as low as $5 and all the way up to actually $15. You see, so it all depends what you buy, and eventually they are going to run out of them unless someone sinks a lot of money and makes a major run of them again.
How long does it take you to put the pins in the 3D printed one
Uh,
by
just
one?
just a couple seconds, really.
Okay, good.
Okay, because I just drop the pins in, and then I just push them down, and inside there is already a stop point that it will automatically stop. Let me see if I can do one. I need to see where my connector is. I can do one under the scope.
That would be cool to see that.
Yeah. Okay. So there is that. Let me find where I put my pins. Okay. Let me go to the scope view, and then we can do one here. All right. So here I already have my DB19. You see, this one is blank. Okay. So that's the inside of it. This is the back side of it. You see, it has the actually stop point.
Yep, see it.
Okay. And when you look at the pin, and the thing is that these pins, I can't find them from Mauser or DigiKey. Okay, Joachim is the one that finds them in actually Sweden. Okay, when you look at the pin, that's what the pin looks like.
Oh, got it. Okay, so they go in from the back side. That
Yeah,
makes sense. Okay.
yeah. So basically, if I'm going to put one into actually position one, and position one is over here. Okay, so I'm just going to take the pin and I'm going to push it in over here, and you see it sitting there right now. You see the head, and then it's gonna go into there, and then basically I just used this guy here, and I just push it down in there.
Okay, so yeah, they're friction fit. That's good.
Yeah. So now it's in there. Look. Okay.
Wow, that's really
And if I look
slick.
here, there is the pin, and it cannot go down further. Okay. And when I get a board and I need to connect this, now if I look at the board, I have more than enough. You see.
Oh, that's great. Good job.
You see, so now and it's in there. That's it. That's not gonna come out. I mean, it's in there solid. It's in there very hard because you do have to push down kind of hard. Okay, and then it goes in there. Friction holds it because of that larger ring around the pin. Let me bring a pin out again.
Yeah, you could probably make a little jig where you could drop all the pins in, and then in one push, it pushes them all in at the same
Yeah,
time.
yeah. You see, so it actually has that it actually has that it has that actually head on it. Oh shoot, where did that pin just go? It just dropped on me. There it
Walk
is.
around barefoot, you'll find it.
Uh, yeah. But anyway, it's somewhere on my floor. I'll find it when I sweep. Luckily, I've got tile, so you can see how it's got that head on there. Okay, and then that's the friction piece that goes inside, and it also has the actually stopping point. You see, it won't go past that actually ledge in there.
Yeah, great job on the design of that.
You see, so this is again actually Joachim. He did a wonderful design on it. You see, and he's now working on a female version, but finding pins for that is hard. So, but yeah, that's it. I mean, it's something very simple. Now, this is an actually resin printed one. I do have the filament printed ones, and the filament ones don't come out as good. Um,
Yeah, with the resin, you don't have to sand or anything. It's just ready
no,
to
I don't have
go.
to do anything. But then when I look at the one that is done with actually filament, you can see the holes are not very clean and clear.
Oh, yeah, so you'd have
You
to drill
see,
them out a little bit.
yeah, and it's got a whole different texture to it. And even on this side, you can see it doesn't look as nice and clean.
Yeah, no, the resin ones are great. I think
So
that's the way you should go.
and these cost about $1 from actually what is it JLC. So it came out really well. So I'm not complaining about it. I don't have. I don't no I don't have one printed right now, but anyway, um but yeah, it's and all of our cases that we design now also have a special lip that will do I have one here? Let me see. Hold on. No, that's the wrong one. All of our cases now that we print have a special lip that will come off the case and it will grab a hold of this notch and it will hold itself in. So it really makes it in there a lot stronger.
Yeah, you guys have put a lot of thought into the design. Really good.
I can't tell you how many times we've gone back and forth on things and have to order and then nope they don't work. I mean, if you see the amount of things I ordered from actually JLC and that I have here that I cannot use anymore or I need to dump, it's just amazing. But anyway, that's all part of actually prototyping. That's how you develop it. So I mean, some of the things we think were good, and then next thing you know, I order actually 100 of them, and we find a mistake, and then I gotta go. Oh man! So I'm changing my practice on that a bit, where I'm not ordering that many things at one shot until I know that it works. So, but yeah, so we have this one TashTwenty here working. So I don't have a mouse and keyboard hooked up to this, so I just have to turn it off. So if I take out this one and I'm gonna put in this one now, this is with our DB19 connector, and we should see it come up momentarily. The only thing I don't like so far is that I don't have a LED on here for me to see actually activity. So one of the things I want to do is I want to probe it out with my scope and find out which line has actually activity, and then connect the LED to it. I'll probably put it somewhere on the board here because really the intention of this was to try to make it as small as possible, as actually cheap as possible. But I do think an actually LED would be nice. And here we are booting up already. It's already, and we should see the icons. Here they are.
Yeah, it boots up pretty quick too. That's nice.
So, and this is on a plus. Okay, this is a plus that doesn't have. I don't have Blue SCSI or nothing connected to it. I'm only using the HD20. So these two work. And then if I go to the original one, I'm gonna put that one in. Now I'm gonna slide this one over so you can see the back of it. Why I want that actually LED. Let me turn off this light too so you can see. You see, it's so much nicer to have a LED on it, especially when it starts loading. That way you know, and you can see that there is activity going on with it. So I do. I'm gonna try to put a LED on it. I'm gonna try to see where the actually activity light is.
But so if you do an LED, it'll be good if it's out of a case. But if you put it in a case, then you'll have to account with like a light pipe or something for the light
That
to show.
that, or we just leave a small little notch in the case where the LED will actually shine. With it will actually shine out.
Yeah, yeah. Light.
So
I have a friend of mine that's got a resin printer, and I've had him do some
the
light pipes
clear
for me.
printing, yeah,
Yeah, it's really nice.
yeah. I mean, you see, so now it should be loaded. Yes, I am fully loaded now. So if I slide this back, you can see that it is fully loaded now. So it loaded pretty quick. So, but I do feel an actually LED. I mean, yeah, you're right about that with the LED. I mean, um, maybe I can put a surface mount. I mean, not a surface mount, but an actually through hole one. But then that's gonna take up more space than I have here because an actually through hole one will come up a little bit. But
Yeah,
I don't know. We'll see what
but
we do.
yeah,
Hmm?
do surface mount. That's fine. And then down the road, when you're working on case stuff, you can maybe consider having a little light pipe,
Yeah.
that comes up from the
We haven't
surface
made the
mount.
case for this yet, Joaquin, because if you look still, we don't have these holes back here are not perfectly mounted, are not perfectly matching. So he is getting his boards tomorrow. So he will build one tomorrow, and then he can see why the holes don't line up, and he can fix up the actually board design and line them up.
And
So
he's gonna have to do the bodge wire fix too, right?
yeah, well, he's actually done that already. He's already done that on the design. You see how the holes do not line up.
Yeah,
So he wants to line that up because when we do a case, it's gonna have a screw that's gonna go actually through those points. You see, so he needs to fix that. He needs to get that to line up, and this side here to actually
what
line up.
probably what like an M3 screw maybe?
Well, we're using. Well, he's over there. He's using a 2.5 millimeter by 12 millimeter screw. So I think that's a M. That's a either I think that's an M2 that he's using because it's so small. It's
Yeah,
the same ones that we have here on you see on the case here.
got it. Yeah, I was just taking a guess with an M3 just because of from my view how it looks, but it's much smaller in person.
Yeah, yeah, they are. I mean, this is
Yeah, because you have it under
this.
the scope, so it looks much
Yeah,
bigger.
yeah. So and um, I was chosen actually Curaçao, and Curaçao is actually metric based. Cayman is not. Cayman is actually American system based. Um, I couldn't find the right screws here. So when I was in Curaçao, I made a point to go and look, and I found them. So I bought a whole box of them.
Good.
So I bought actually 200 of them, I think it was. So, but yeah, I mean, so I'm very happy that the TashTwenty, but like I said, we don't have a case yet. He wants to build his, and then he wants to get everything to actually line up, and then he will design a case. But I have been talking to him about us putting an actually LED somewhere here. So maybe even two, one on this side, one on this side. One is power, and one is actually activity. But then again, that's going to raise the price a little bit. Not too much because I mean, those LEDs and the actually resistor it needs are those two combined is not even 20 cents.
Yeah, that's nothing. Yeah, 20 cents you can just add that, no problem.
Yeah.
That's no big deal.
Yeah, I like to have it. I mean, because that way you know at least the device is getting power, and then you can see that it's at least being actually accessed. So, and on the Mosey and the actual MISO port, which I should get activity. So anyway, so that's on the TashTwenty, on the Tash stuff. So then, oh Luke, what do you have here? I've been trying to get a 3D print for those TashTwenty, but my printer has been problematic. I'm trying to get it working right now since it's affecting all of my other prints as well. Yeah, they can. I mean, those printers when they start giving trouble, it's like never mind. So then my other thing here is the ROM sim programmer that I've been talking about numerous times. Ay, ay, ay. I'm all over the place here. Okay. So this is it here. Um, this this design is by Doug H. Brown. Made it back. Oh God, over actually 10 years ago now, if not more. He made some of them available. He was making them, but then he ended up getting burnt out, and then he stopped making them and making them available. Then it went to Big Mess of Wires. He approved Big Mess of Wires to actually make them and sell them, and he did for a while, but now doesn't do it anymore either. Last time I think these were made were in 2017, 2016. They were available. Um, since then, my team and I we got it. We downloaded it. The actually plans updated them because they were done in a very old format that were very hard to read and so forth, and practically had to redo quite a bit of it. We got our first prototypes, and they didn't work too well. Then we went back and saw some major problems in the original design. Fixed them for this board. Well, not that one. Here. So this was prototype number two. Prototype number two also had some problems, but we figured them out, and we were able to. I was able to run some botch wires and fix the problem. Prototype two was with the assistance of actually Doug, the original creator. He helped us actually problem solve it and checked it and so forth. And um, lucky for us, Doug has given us permission to make them and sell them and make them available. And he's also involved with the project to a certain extent. And he will be getting a little bit of commission off of each one that we sell. Um, so prototype two was here. This one works now. It has the serial stuff on it. The actually serial side um, code was never written to actually make it work. Okay, and Doug has no intention of making it work. The idea was to be able to use this on a classic Mac itself and to write the software to program the ROMs to work on the classic Macs, but it never got that far. So, um, because of this side never being connected, well, it is connected to the chips and everything, but there's no software to take actually advantage of it. So, what's the point in actually having it, right? Let's just actually take all that away, reduce the cost a little bit, and now we have version three of the prototype number three. Prototype number three, we added a power LED over here and the switch, and we're changing the USB connector from a USB A to a micro USB. Um, I forgot to order my micro USB, so I don't have them here yet. So I'm using an A that is wired to its pins. The other change is that the original one uses the original design uses a Atmel 1890 USB 646 or 647 chip, and those chips are very hard to find. They always seem to be very long actually lead time. No one has actually inventory, has them available, and so forth. This is a cheaper chip. It's about $5-6 a piece. Okay, when they are available, which is very rare. So we then opted. My team and I then opted. Says, okay, well, we saw that the Atmel 90, the 1890 USB 1286 and 1287 chip is the same, everything inside. The only thing difference is the amount of memory space. So it's the same chip, but just a bigger allotment of actually flash space and so forth. Um, this chip is a lot more actually available. There's a pretty good inventory of them everywhere right now, but they do cost more. They cost about $10 a piece versus the $5 or $6 for the other one.
Yeah, but having more memory, then you can expand your software.
It could, but I mean, who's gonna really expand the software? I'm not gonna get into actually C programming with it. So, but unless that Doug, who is involved with the project, wants to improve on it, which I mean might happen. Okay, it might happen. So, but anyway, the main thing was to have it more actually available. I don't want to wait. I mean, 6 7 months for me to get chips. You see, so but once I got the chips, once I got everything in the board, I went and built this at first, and I could not get it to. I could not get Windows to actually recognize it. I could connect my actually ISP programmer to it, and it would see it. I could program the chip and everything. Where is my programmer anyway? Um, yeah. So here's my programmer for it for me to program the chip. Using actually AVR Dude. I could program it. I could get everything in there. Okay, but it still would not boot up. It still would not. Windows would not recognize it. Windows wouldn't even see it. I mean, just nothing. Okay, but I knew it was in there because I mean, it was getting programmed. But after some time of digging and digging and digging, well, anyone that's worked with actually Flash and actually bootloader and software and a chip and all that. I mean, the actually program was actually specifically written for the 646 chip. So then it knew exactly what address location in memory to find what it needed. Okay. So then when I went to the 128.6 chip, all those address lines changed because well all those actually addresses changed because now I'm dealing with a lot more memory. So it's not at the same actually starting point and actually ending point. So the software would not the actually bootloader would not know where to look for the code for it to run.
So what did you just pad it out, or what did you do?
No, well, what Doug did, and he just sent it to me last night, and then this morning I went and I tested it out. He just changed the actually starting address. That's it. It was just a simple line change. One thing he had to change in the code. Okay,
That's nice.
he just had to change. He just had to change the actually address starting point of the firmware inside the RAM, well, inside the memory. Okay, because now there was more memory and there was more space, so it was a completely different addressing table. So he had to make the code. He had to make the bootloader. He only had to adjust the actually bootloader, and then once I got that, I put it onto the chip. I put on the firmware, and now if I go and plug this in and I turn it on, and there was a chime. It detected it. See, so now it's there. Even if I go and run the, hold on here, let me get to the software. All right, so I'm gonna put in an actually Raminator. Okay, I do have my own ROMs too. Now that's the other reason why we added the actually switch. Okay, because anytime you add a SIM or take out a SIM, you should actually unplug it or you should at least turn it off. Okay, but I just felt with an actually micro USBs there in out so much, you run the risk of damaging it. So I rather have the switch.
Yeah, I like having the switch too.
Okay, so
It's
now I
nice.
turn it back on, and there it is. I can go do a identify chip. It does that. Let me go do a read. Let me save a file. And now I'm reading the sim, and you can see that the light came on, and it's reading it. Where's my other sims? Let me get one of my blank sims. Okay. So now that has been read. I'm gonna turn it back off. I'm gonna take out this one. Now these are the ROMs that actually my team is making. Okay. They are a 4 MB sim, actually ROM, same as the Rominator. So I have that in there now. Okay, and you can't see my computer screen, but at least you can hear it and you can see some of the lights here. But I'm gonna actually write code to it. It's gonna actually erase it first, and there it goes. Now it's actually writing to it. So what is nice with it is that it's doing the whole sim at one shot. Okay, I mean before, like on a SE30, you had 4 different PLCC chips, right? And if you wanted to program them, you either had to take them out of the socket or whatever and program one by one. You had to actually split the file and everything. With this, you don't need to do that. I mean, it does. It knows there is a setting in the software that I tell it, okay, I am using 2 chips or I'm using 4 chips. Okay, and it knows, and then it will do all the splitting, all the writing correctly for you and everything.
That's really nice.
You see, so one actually line changed in the source code, recompiled, and Doug sent it to me, and the damn thing works. So I'm very happy.
It's always some little minor thing like that, but it's always the last what 5-10% of a project that's the hardest or it
Yeah,
takes forever.
yeah. I mean, and if I'm not mistaken, I think he said the only thing he had to change was in the actually address line of where to look. It looked at actually 0E000, and he had to change it to actually look at actually 1E000. So he had to change 10 to a 1. That's it. You see there, now it is done actually programming. That's actually ROM.
Yeah, I heard your Windows do the
Beep, yeah,
little beep that
and
it
the
was
and
done.
and the light went out. So it works. I mean, that's amazingly. Now I do have my actually prototype number 2. This one works fine for me, so I'll probably keep this for me. But this one here, all I gotta do is I gotta put on a proper USB connector on it.
Oh,
Then
you took the chip out without turning it off.
shit, yeah, it does
Oops.
happen, but it doesn't cause too much damage. So, well, it actually can. It can damage it. It doesn't do it all the time. I mean, it's not guaranteed. Let me just do a very quick read of it, make sure everything is still good. Uh oh. Speaking of damage, I think it just happened because now it doesn't identify it correctly. Okay, now it does. Yeah, yeah, because each chip has actually identifications on it, and in the software, I can do a chip actually identity. So that's there. So and let me do a read of it again. Read it. Let's read it and see. Okay, so yeah, there's the read. The read is done. It's still okay. All right, so that's still good there.
I wonder if there would be a way in the software to, after it reads or it writes, it turns off the power automatically to that uh, connector. Then that way you don't have to worry or remember to turn it on or off. And then when you're ready to program or read again, you have to click something in the software to say, okay, turn on the power or something.
Now the way that the software is that because all that this is doing is that it is cutting the power from the USB from going any further than the switch. So the power is never getting to any of the chips right now. Okay, and so the software, like right now, is telling me that it can't even see a programmer. It is not even connected. So once I
Got it.
turn it
Okay.
on, now Windows detects it.
Got it.
So I would have to see or speak more with Doug and see how it is communicating of or where the damage could happen. I mean, um, because right now the Atmel chip is just sitting idle. It's not really doing anything. I mean, so it should not be sending any power to any pin on here. And let's go see. I mean, there shouldn't be any power coming anywhere. So if I go to a ground, I mean, the first pins. Yeah, you see, I'm not getting nothing on the sim.
Well, then that's good. That's built-in safety.
You see, I mean, I should have. Oh yeah, sorry, I am getting voltage here.
Ah.
There is voltage going to pin one because pin one has got 4.888 volts going to it right now.
Hey, Sloopy Malibu.
Sloopy, hey, how are you? Finally, YT tells me you're streaming. Finally, you. Yes, I'm here again. Sloopy, I got everything working. Got both of the things working. I'm not sure. I got the um, TashTwenty working, and the actually ROM sim programmer. So luckily, yeah, I do have 5 volts going on pin one here. So maybe somehow we need to see about terminating that if there is no activity. I mean, because there is power going to the Atmel chip right now. There is power going to it and to the port and to the port and to the port. What is it? What is it here? A replicator chip. It gives me some more pins. So that's all that does. Expander. So there is power going to the SIM socket. I Now I won't one or you want? Oh, want. Yeah, sorry, that's a A. It's kind of far away for me to see that small writing. Yeah, we're gonna fix up the actually design. We're gonna fix up the actually design a little bit. I don't want to give out or push out things with actually botch wires. I don't like that. And we're gonna get a case made for it and all that. So it's still a little bit of project on it to actually go. That's on the TashTwenty. On the programmer, um, there is nothing wrong with the board. The board is 100% good. It's just here I need my USB connector. I don't have one. I don't have one right now. I just ordered them from Mauser. I forgot to order them. That was my own fault. So yeah, Sean, maybe we gotta maybe figure out a way that once it's done programming, kill the power to the socket.
Yeah, that'd be a good safety thing to have. Because then you're gonna get you'll get customers that will be like, "Oh, it killed my chip," and you'd be like, "Well, did you turn it off?"
Yeah, yeah, there is power going there. So,
Or just
but
have a note that says it's not hot swappable. You got to turn it
yeah,
off.
well, that's what it said on the actually previous ones. I mean, the one from actually Big Mess of Wires and the one that actually Doug sold in the past. They actually specifically said ensure that you unplug it or turn off power. Um, when you're not using when you're gonna remove. And what's funny is, well, I can see why it's doing this. Like when I've got my actually programmer attached to it, all right, and I give this power. And look, even though that the switch is off, okay, it's still getting power, but that's because the power is now coming from the actually programmer. from this actually programmer,
So then
which
something
is
needs to go from the programmer
no,
to
well,
top
no,
that
well,
switch.
that's fine. This is fine because not everyone is going to be connecting a programmer to it. Okay, this is only for you to change the actually bootloader, and your average user is not going to do that because you can give this a firmware update through its own software. Okay, so this is something that only like I would be doing. Okay, like if I got a new actually bootloader and I need to put that into the chip, I actually have to use this. You follow me?
Oh yeah, what happens though if someone already has one and then there's an update?
On the bootloader, you're not really gonna get updates. That is very rare. You see, but I mean, yeah, I mean, if
Hey
someone has
Chris.
a programmer and they know what to do, Chris, hi there. If they know what to do, then yeah, they could possibly do it. But I mean, that's fine if this actually bypasses the actually switch because you need to get power to the chip, okay, for you to actually program it. Okay, because even if I turn it on, this actually switch doesn't do anything right now because it's only connected to here. You see, so I don't mind it this way because I mean, if you're gonna be updating the programmer, you know what you're doing, and you see, so that's the only one that I saw, but that's because this is the actually ISP connector header for the actually programmer to update the bootloader.
Chris,
If
you
you
should take a lunch break and join us.
or you should retire like actually me, but to update the actually firmware, that's done through the actually software itself, through the actually sim programmer software. There is an actually update firmware option, and then that comes in through the USB and it will update itself. So to update the firmware, you do not need an actually ISP connector. You don't need that. So I am very happy that this is fixed. This works. By doing just a simple line change, we were able to get it to work. Okay, now this board here, this is a version two prototype, which is the same as this one. This is the one that I had to botch and fix a couple traces here that did not have the. What happened was that we missed the vias. Okay, everything was there to go through, but the actually via wasn't. So it wasn't there to connect to the other side. But anyway, so I had one, two, three, four. Yeah, it was only four. It was only four places that I had to fix. So anyway, so this board works. This one does not. Okay, but I don't want to lose these things I have here. So what I want to do is I'm gonna salvage this board. Um, I'm gonna take the things off of it. I'm not gonna sit here and drill holes in that to make that board work. I'll rather I'll rather take most of the stuff and move it over to this board here. Okay. Now this already has this. This is not a 646 chip. This is the 1286 because even this one here, if I plug it in, it will find it. Okay, because this was my test board that I was using just to make sure I could program it and that it would detect. Okay, but it will not read. Well, it will actually read a ROM, but it will not read it correctly because of these botch wires that I need to put on. Those are botches that go to certain actually address lines, and those address lines will not be read, so the data will be missing. So, but it can read, yes, but it doesn't read. It doesn't read correctly. So what I want to do is I'm gonna reuse some of these components that are on this board and transfer them over to one of these here. So because the rest of this is actually no good to me. So let's see what we can start taking off of this before I go too far. Let me just get these two chips off first because those are the two biggest things that are in my way. Come on, I need gravity to work. There it goes. Most of the stuff on here is actually surface mount, so it's just a couple of things that are not.
So, what does property cost in the Cayman Islands? Is it compared to the to Florida, for example?
Uh, Quite a bit more than actually Florida. I wouldn't say double the price, but it's at least 20%, 20-25% more than Florida. The thing that is expensive here is the building cost. I mean, if you buy actually a raw actually land, not so bad. But once you decide that you want to go build and you want to contract with a builder and build a house and so forth, you're quite a bit higher because you got to remember that everything has to be actually imported. Okay, there are some items that are made here, like the blocks that you use to actually build a house. Um, those are made here. Cement comes in as a powder bulk, and then we have silos here that they hold them and they can bag them or they can put it into an actually concrete mixing truck and then actually send it over to your property and so forth. So, but everything is imported. I mean, lumber, shingles, all that has to come from actually somebody. Let me move this plus off of my desk so I can see my any chats that are happening.
There's
Okay.
no trees in the Caymans that they can use for lumber.
Not the quantity and the type that you need. No, there are trees, but not the ones that you would want to build from. Okay, so, but I mean, they are here. Yes, I mean, it's not that we are a desert and don't have trees. Cayman is actually very actually green. Um, it's a nice. It's an island that gets quite a bit of rain. And we also get actually hurricanes, same as Florida. But I mean, when I bought my house, oh God, 22, 23 years ago, um, it was about 180,000 of actually our money. So you got to add 20% because our money is actually 20% stronger. Um, but now my house, well, I actually added on to my house. I actually doubled it um, in the size. Um, Now it's valued at almost 700,000. So you can see property goes up. I mean, a long time ago, my parents bought some property that was on an actual canal. Um, Never built on it. It was bought as an actually investment. And recently, I mean, they bought them for less than actually 100,000. And recently, my mom sold them both for almost 500,000 a piece. So that was an actually $400,000 gain
I
on some property.
I wonder what it would cost to have a all the parts for like a pre-manufactured home shipped, on a boat, like a tugboat or something, to the Caymans, if that would be too expensive.
Well, the your first battle is going to be getting approval to bring in a prefab home because of actually hurricane conditions. Our building codes here are very strict, and motor homes are not even allowed to come in. Let's just put it that way. Okay, you don't get permission to build a home that is not out of block. It has to be concrete. Okay, so in the past you could build homes out of pure as you would, where it wasn't actually framed home. Okay, I mean I'm pretty sure you know what I mean by that, where even the actually outside walls were just actually 2x4s, and then
Yeah.
plywood put on it, and then some sort of fabric, and then they put stucco on it. Okay, houses like that are not allowed to be built here because one of the actually storms, of all the actually hurricanes in that. So you have to now if the prefab is concrete, fine, yes. And a matter of fact, there is a company here. They actually pre-make your actually septic tanks and the it, drainage basins and all these things that are out of concrete. I mean, they have a lot of different molds and things that they can make. And one of the projects they do is that they can make all your walls and floor and roof and that of a house. And there are some houses here that are built out of that. So it is somewhat prefab, you can say, and but it's all concrete slabs that then they put them onto trucks and take them out to the job site, and then a crane lifts them up and puts them all together for you.
What about a house built out of shipping containers? I've seen people take two or three shipping containers and make pretty nice houses out of
That's
them.
that's something to be challenged here. I don't. It's never been done yet. Okay, I do know there's a lot of. I mean, the thing is with Cayman, okay, is we are surrounded by some islands or some other countries that are a lot poorer, and their people have a hard time getting work. And Cayman has more actually work than it has people, so it has to import labor. So you get a lot of people here out of actually Jamaica, out of actually Honduras, out of actually Cuba that come here and they're given a permit to actually work. But some of the employers that actually hire them do not treat them very well. Let's just say it that way. And what happens then is that the employer puts them up in some sort of housing, but the housing is crap. Okay. And a lot of these employers, what they do is on their job site or on their property, they have shipping containers and they just slap some things in them and make it look like it is rentable, livable, and puts these employees in there and charges them a little bit. And so I do know of some places that are already using shipping containers to somewhat illegally actually house people. They don't have the permits for them. They're not legally built or actually put there, but they do them. I mean, okay. So basically, what I did with this chip, so that you know, is I lined it up and I went around to each corner and I tacked it down. So because I already have pillows on the pads, so there's already solder there. So now I went around for me to just actually secure it, and that also lines it up right because these legs are so small to actually solder. So now I will come with some heat.
Bring in the heat.
Yep. So now I come in with some heat here, and I'm gonna actually push down on it, and I'm gonna melt all these pillows again, and you can see the solder melting. You can see it going soft there. A color, the actually color changes, and it becomes liquefied, and it attaches to the legs. All right, that side done. Maybe I should try to focus a bit better.
I tell people that are doing surface mount soldering, flux is your friend, and you do a good job of that.
Oh yeah, you need the flux. Without the flux, you can't do any of this. So right now that solder is solid. It's kind of dull looking, and as it heats up, it will become liquefied and actually shiny. That's how you can see it. Yeah, I can see all of them becoming liquefied. Now it's liquefied. I push down, take away the heat, and I'm still holding it down. Give it a couple seconds, and you'll see them go actually solid again. Okay. Now I'm doing the chips first on this other board because they're they're the most difficult ones to put in. Who's this coming? Oh, Sloopy is coming. Hello.
Greetings. I figured since you were fluxing around, I would join.
Yeah, I'm here fluxing this thing.
Uh,
See, so there they are going liquefied.
oof. I forgot that I still have OBS running from last night. Let's see here.
One more side to do, and
Uh,
that's how you do one of these big chips that you seem you would think would be so hard to solder, but
let's set that up for tomorrow or tonight.
there we go. Now I've done all four sides. Okay. Now I don't leave it at just that. I also come back. Um, I have actually dental picks. If you look at it, and see, this is like a dental pick tool. I buy them at actually out over at actually Hobby Lobby. There's one just around the corner from the house up in actually Florida. So I buy them from there. They're very good tools to actually have. Hobby Lobby surprisingly has a lot of things that are very good for this type of work. I even have little brushes that are like this, you see, and I can use this to apply actually solder mask and these other things. So a lot of things I buy from actually them that I find that are useful. Right now I'm just checking to make sure every pin is down. I don't always trust that the solder will grab and hold it.
Oops.
Shaky cam with Sloopy.
Yeah, I'm changing things around so you can see what I'm doing because I've pulled all the chips off the boards. Now I have to clean the board and then put the new flash chip on it. And unfortunately, I don't have things very well set up for streaming what I'm doing over here yet. I have to get MPEG streamer running on my iMac here so that I can plug in stuff over here, have it stream it over to my machine that runs OBS.
Yeah, I found that was the hard part thing to set up. I mean, I've got here one, two, three, four different cameras, and then my scope. So I got five cameras all over the place.
Yeah, I have one, one, two, three, four. I've got four cameras and a scope, but the scope is on the iMac, and the four cameras are connected directly to this machine. two of them with USB extensions. But my really long I have two really long USB extensions. One is being used for my printer because I'm having issues with that, and then the other one I don't know where it's at, so I can't really use it. And there's like USB extension. Well, actually, there's USB extensions on all of them, but just one of them is like a super long powered one that goes to the printer on the other side of the room, and the other two have smaller ones,
Yeah.
6 foot ones. That one I made, and the other one I bought.
So here, basically, what I'm going to do with this chip, this is the port actually replicator that gives me some more I/O ports, some more for the additional address lines and data lines. So I'm just going to attach one leg. Okay, that's all I have attached on that side. Now I'll come to this side here. See, I can still play around with it. You see, I can still move it around a little bit. And one thing I noticed right away is that I don't have any extra space here. So I'm going to have to reheat this one, loosen it up a little bit, and slide it over a bit, and then let go. Okay, so now I have connection there, and I have some space there also. So anyway, this is just for others that are out there that don't know how I do this or want to learn. So now I still have a little bit of play in it, you see. So, but everything lines up good. I'm not too worried. So now I can secure that leg. Now I'm down solid. You see. Sometimes if you do flex it too much, you are putting strain on this one leg here and this pad. So it's always good to come and just melt it again. That will actually relieve any of the stress, and then let it dry again, let it cool down, and you're okay to go. So now that I have that down, I will just come here. Oh, and I'm going to drag solder that. Okay, and that side should all be down. I'll come back and check it after. Let me get the other side now. And here too, I'm just going to push it down a little bit, and I'm going to drag solder it. That's it. Should be it.
What a drag, man.
Yeah, I know it is. So now I'm just checking all the legs. I'm just putting a little bit of pressure on and pushing it. If it moves, I know the solder's not good. Okay, so those were the two chips I had. Oh, I still got one. I still got one more little chip I need to put on here. There is a just. I mean, a USB sometimes can have surges on it. So this board uses a small little ESD between the USB and the D minus and D plus that go to the board. Well, that go to the main chip. All that does is to make sure the voltage doesn't spike.
I thought voltage spikes were your friend.
Hey, Joe of Joe's Computer Museum.
Joe is there. Joe, hey. Thank you for sending me that info earlier today. So that chip is a very small little thing right here that you see. I gotta turn it over. And of course now with all this flux on here, I can't see what side is what. So I need to give this a little clean. So I can see where the dot is. Aha, there's the dot. Now, I do know, okay, yeah, the dot, so. There are multiple ways to identify the orientation of a chip. Like if we look at the USB here, we see this line here. Okay, this is going over here, over this pad. This is pad 1. On this here, we see here a short line and here a longer line. This longer line here is by this pad, so that's pad 1. This circle on the chip, that little circle right there, if you can see, that is pin 1, so I have to turn this. So that's gonna go sit right there. We secure that leg. This one I can just tap all 3 and it'll be done. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so basically what this is going to do is you're going to have, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, it's on the USB, that is D minus, that is D positive. Those 2 will come to over here. I think it's D minus is actually this side. So it comes here to a resistor that's going to be here, a 22 ohm resistor. And then it also goes to the chip here, and any surge protections, any surges or so forth, this chip will handle it. And then before it feeds into the main Atmel chip onto D minus is here and D positive is there. That's how the USB communicates with the chip. Only over those 2 wires. The other one, this is power, D minus, D plus. This one is not used, and this is ground, and all these other points are also ground. So anyway, hope that helps some. Little bit of explanation how that works. So now I have, my next things I want to put on are these resistors and these caps. Well, yeah, there's a couple resistors and caps. So I have 2 actually resistors down here, a cap there and a cap there and a cap there. So put a little bit of, where's my other tweezer? Where's my other tweezer? There you are. All right, so I'm going to take these off of the older board that I'm not going to use, recycle them. You can't see me taking them off right now because I'm doing that on the side here.
Well, you guys have a good rest of your morning, noon, or
All
night.
right.
I got to go have some lunch.
All right, okay, no problem. Thank you for stopping in.
You're welcome. Good luck with your project.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. It will keep on going. It's not going nowhere. I'll still be here working on it.
Nice, and good luck to you, Sloopy, with all of your Easy Flash 3 repairs.
Thank you. I should be done soon, though.
When you're done, let me know, and I'll send you my Zoom floppy that I've somehow seemed to have bricked.
Okay.
Doing a firmware update.
Do you have one of these Easy Flashes on order?
I do not, but I could place an order for one.
Well, let me put it this way. Give me one. Let me change my camera. All right. You know how the cartridges are either red or white?
Clear, you mean?
Yeah.
I've never seen a white one.
Well, clear or clear red.
Okay, got it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I've made 1 or 2 that are not those colors.
Oh.
Like my personal Easy Flash 3 is the translucent purple.
That's cool.
If you watch Adrian Black.
Yeah, he and I are friends. Yep.
Yeah, I made him a hot pink one.
Nice.
It was funny if you watched his videos from right after he got back from VCF East. It's like Oh, I got a mini mail call from VCF East. He goes, I apologize to all the people that gave me stuff and I can't remember their name. Um, and I gave him that, and I also gave him some Nixie tubes. And he names me by name like 10 times during that video. While there's like, he goes and pulls something out and he goes, I don't remember who gave this to me. I appreciate it. And I'm sorry that I forgot your name. But this is, I still thank you very much. And he shows it. And then when he gets to the Easy Flash 3 cartridge case, he goes, and this was given to me by Sloopy. Sloopy's this really nice guy who works for Retro Innovations. I mean, literally, he names me by name like 8-9 times.
Wow.
So, but no, the reason.
Yeah, I'm actually going to be seeing him later today, so I'll give him some hell for you.
Yeah, tell him I said hey. No, I like it when he names me because it makes me actually famous. But no, the normal red, clear red cartridges are like this, as you can see.
Yeah, I've got a couple of the red ones, and I've got a couple of the clear/white ones.
Yeah. Well, the thing is that in the box, you see those boxes back there, right there. Those are all cart shells of the various colors. Well, in the box of the red ones, I noticed that something didn't quite look right in the middle. It was a different shade. And so as I pulled them out and I was doing them, I saw this one. And the thing is that I drilled it like the rest, but it's kind of hard to see on the screen, but it's actually a slightly darker red.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, whereas this normal one is like a strawberry red, this is more like a cherry red. So if you want to order one, just put a note in there that say, hey, this is Geek with Social Skills, and I'll give you the dark cherry red one instead.
Nice. So Jim even makes you ship everything now too. What is he doing? Retired?
No, basically he has a lot of projects that he hasn't been able to get to because he has two kids, a son and a daughter. And a few years ago, his son went off to college, and then like 2 years ago, his daughter went off to college. So he wasn't really able to do any development because he was doing all this stuff, and he wasn't able to do things like go on vacations and such because his
money was going to schools.
Yeah. Well, and it was also the whole issue of he wanted to be able to go out for a weekend or so with his wife and such, and he wasn't able to do that. So he had me. I started doing assembly work for him, and I'm like, hey, do you have anything more? Because I'm having a problem getting a job because I'm on a 0-pound weightlifting limit. And I says, I need something to make more money. And he goes, well, yeah, we could probably work something out. And then I started doing just about all of his shipping. So he mostly does design and design work and such. And I do all the shipping. I do like product that needs to be programmed and such. I do all that. And the stuff that needs to be assembled, I do assembly.
How long have you been doing that for him now?
I've been doing the shipping and such for about a year, and I've been doing the assembly for about a year and a half, almost 2 years.
Nice. I'm looking here really quick. When was the last time I ordered?
The easiest way to tell if something was shipped from me is when you go to look in the tracking, it'll say that it was in Muscatine, Iowa, and then all of a sudden the next scan is in Northeast Maryland.
Got it. Yeah, because it's got his address for the label, but then it's you're putting it in the post office where you're at or whatever.
Right.
Got it. And
Yeah,
I'm looking
because
here. The last time I ordered was November of 2022 was the last time I ordered anything.
okay. Let's see here. Is the server working today? Please.
And the first time, let's see here. First time I ordered was in December of 2009.
Yeah, I definitely wasn't working for him then. I was just a regular customer. Yeah, server's not connecting.
No biggie. I was just curious.
What was let me see here. What was your order number for the thing in
I'm not
November?
gonna say that on a live stream.
Oh my god. Okay. You said November?
Maybe.
Just give me the last just give me the last two digits.
Okay, let me look here. Let me go back. Do, do, do. Order. Don't dox me on the stream. Just saying.
Oh no, I wouldn't.
02.
All right, let's see here. Ah, okay.
Did
Ooh,
did
you got one of those.
yeah, it wasn't Commodore related.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you watch the Coco Nation?
From time to time. Yeah, I'm relatively new to the Coco world the last couple of years. I grew up doing Commodore 64 and Apple II stuff.
I my first computer, my first commercial computer was a Commodore Plus 4 in 1984,
Nice.
and then that's summer of '85. I got an Atari 800, and but yeah, the Coco Nation is a show about the Coco and their hardware related machines. Like the Dragon Data, Dragon 32, Dragon 64, and CP 400, and other various. Because I mean, the Tandy color computer is just Motorola's reference design. It's not their own design. They just took Motorola's reference design for the 6809 and made it into a product and sold it. So literally anyone could use it, and Tandy would not be able to do jack about copyright unless they use the ROM.
Yeah, I've had a Coco 2 for about a year, and I got a Coco 3 about 6 months ago, and that's why I was why I ordered what I ordered, because I wanted to be able to run some of the newer homebrew stuff.
Yeah. We have the Coco Nation also has the Game On Challenge live.
Yeah, so you probably know Tim then, Tim Lindner.
Lindner, yes, I know him. He's
Yeah,
pretty
yeah,
good.
yeah. He's in my local area, and he's the one that's been getting me into the Coco stuff, and he's been trying to get me to do some of the game challenge stuff.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, because they do the Coco show on Saturdays, but then they do a live. It's actually people join the Coco Discord and in the voice channel, and then it's streamed onto Twitch, YouTube, Facebook for people to watch.
nice. And Joe says the Naboo.
Hey Joe, you should start a Naboo Game On challenge. There you go. But or even the Naboo Nation. There you go.
The Naboo Nation.
Where you have a bi-monthly podcast about the news and such.
Well, I do not only do I have NabooNetwork.com, I have NabooLive.com, and that's going to be I'm giving a spoiler here on the stream. It's going to be for online co-op gameplay where you can connect multiple Naboos online and play. The first game is going to be Bomberman, where you can
Oh,
play
nice.
Bomberman online.
Yeah. Yeah, because the Game On Challenge live is actually tonight in about 4.5 hours.
Yep. And Joe, the Naboo came out before the MSX by about a month, so the
Yeah,
MSX
but
is more like the Naboo.
yeah. Well, the NSX was basically they decided, hey, so many computers use this CPU, this sound chip, this VDP, so why don't we just make it a standard? I mean, think of all the machines that came out before the MSX standard that pretty much follow the MSX standard. That's why it became a standard.
Yeah.
So, but no, the Game On Challenge is tonight. You should join.
What should I play? I'm just getting up to speed on all the Coco game stuff. So
Basically, the game is it's like we have two different games that are specified, and they're each game is selected for a 2-week period, and they're overlapping. So every week there's a new game because one of them gets replaced. And this week we are playing. Let's see here. I don't remember off the top of my head.
can you drop a link into the private chat?
Are you in the Coco Discord?
I am not. Oops. Yeah, I very rarely use Discord. I've been using it a little more lately, but it's a huge time suck. So I try not to be in there too much.
Yeah, I'm in like 80 servers, but I don't really look at many of them except for I look at the one that we're in, and then I look at the Coco Discord because I'm part of the show. And yeah, the one game is let's see here. Well, one game is Shaft. I'm trying to see what the other game is because I wasn't around on Saturday. I was actually meeting up with Frodo Jedi. It seemed Willie's Warehouse seems to be the other one.
So I just sent you a message through Discord.
All right, there we go. And oops, wrong button. And there, I sent you an invite to the Coco Discord.
Great. Another time-sucking channel to be a part of.
All this stuff is time sucking.
Well, quite honestly, there's a few channels that I'll actually read, but for the most part, I just what do you call it? I just peruse, if anything.
Whoa, you made it to the Great Wall of Text. Sounds like a text adventure.
Yeah, well, basically, long story short, don't be an asshole. And just write a small intro to yourself using preferably your real name, but you don't really have to use your specific first real name because a lot of these people come from a ham radio operator background. They're more used to people willing to give their real name, or at least just their first real name, or use their real
my
name.
first name is Sean, and I'm actually a ham operator, licensed ham. So yeah.
So, and although I'm one of the admins for the Coco Discord, I can't just automatically give you full access without you putting a little intro. So just say, "Hey, I'm Sean. Hi, I'm mostly interested in Mac and Apple classic computers, but I've been strong armed by Tim Lindner to start getting into the Cocoa, and Sloopy smacked me about a bit to continue being into the Cocoa."
I just saw Tim last week. Both Tim, Adrian, and I got together for breakfast last week, and he actually mentioned the game challenge stuff then. So
Yeah,
he does legit slap me around a little bit. At least he tries.
yeah. Tell him I'm on your case too. So between the two of us, we should get you to be fully Cocoa.
Got it. Well, I'm Commodore 64 and Apple II for life. I mean, that's what I grew up with.
Yeah,
But yeah, and the Mac, I dabble a little bit in the Mac, but when push comes to shove, Commodore 64 and Apple II, that's where if I only had to have two systems, that's what they would be. So
yeah. If I had only had to have two systems, it would probably be a Cocoa and a Atari 8-bit. Because the Commodore 64, I mean, the Commodore Plus 4 was my first computer, and the Atari 800 was my first computer that I actually started getting peripherals for. But the Apple II does have a certain history with me because the first computer that I programmed was a Bell and Howell Apple II Plus. Joe, make up your mind. Are you Apple II forever or are you Naboo forever?
well, he can't be Naboo forever because
That is retrospective.
he hasn't opened his box yet.
Yeah.
He's Naboo.
Oh, then there's the other question. Are you Apple II forever or Apple III forever?
He's more Apple III right now, I think. That's
Right
my
now,
vote.
yeah, he's all geared on the Apple III.
Yeah, I haven't seen much Apple II from you, Joe. I've only seen Apple III.
And what's the Apple IL? I've never heard of the Apple IL, Joe. What is that?
They're all ill. The Apple ill-conceived. That's another term for the Apple III.
So apparently the Apple II is his boo.
Yeah,
Or his bae. I don't know. Is that the same thing as boo? I don't know this young slang stuff.
yeah. I'm a fan of all the stuff from the 8-bit and some 16-bit era.
Joe, you are not my real dad. You can't tell me to stop.
But yeah, my main reason for being into the Macintosh, especially the late 68,000 period and the early G, the PowerPC period, it is because I was actually a user of that stuff. I used to have an SE. I had an SE, then I went to an SE30, and then went to Power Mac. But I also had an Amiga, and I actually had an Amiga before the. No, I traded my SE for the Amiga, and that's when I got my SE30.
Okay, that is one board build as much as I can do it right now.
So, but yeah, just a small little introduction. Doesn't have to be big. Doesn't have to.
Yeah, I'm actually replying to your little welcome thing right now. I'm typing up a reply.
Yeah,
Um,
that welcome reply, that welcome thing is it's pretty funny because Alan will type it out, and a couple others will type it out when it needs to be typed out. But then, as a joke, I'll copy and paste Alan's, but for his name, I'll just strike that through and put my name after it.
yeah, I saw that. I was like, okay.
Yeah, because Alan, X Alan Paradise is Alan,
Okay.
and he's he sits in front of a computer all the time, so he's just as much around as I am. So he oftentimes will get to them before I will.
So is Tim under Tim?
On here he is. Let's see here.
I was gonna tag him in it.
Yeah, he is. I think he's T. Lindner.
Yeah, let's see TL.
No, that's not it. It's damn. Let's see here.
Oh, this one works to a
Oh,
certain
I don't
extent.
have to tag him.
Yeah, you should. Let's
Let's
see.
see if AR Dude sees this chip.
I'm looking through the who's online. Oh, man, there's a lot of people in here. Good grief.
Yeah.
And this chip is already programmed, so I don't even have to program it because it
Oh
was the
shit.
one keeping up the other board.
What's his other name? Let's see.
And that's I was looking at some emails from him trying to see if there was something there that would. I'll just send him a text. What's your name on Discord?
Oh, I'll see it in a second because I'm looking through my messages.
Let's see if I can salvage this SIM socket.
Where the
All right, I'm not going to tag him. I'm just going to just.
Yeah,
mention
he
his name.
uses his other thing, I guess. But where it's gonna bug me until I find it.
Isn't that
All
how
right.
it normally goes?
Well, there you go. I just replied to your welcome.
Roll and member. Now you should see a whole shitload of channels.
Yes, look at all of that. Good grief. I'm a member. Yay. Well, thank you for the invite. I won't have a bunch of time today to look through, but I'll start looking through all the stuff.
Yeah. What are you going to be doing later tonight? Around
Yeah.
8 p.m. Eastern.
I don't know. I've been trying to have lunch for like the last 20 minutes or so. So
Yeah, because I remember you saying a little while ago, I gotta go have lunch.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, I don't have to have lunch, but I am getting kind of hungry. So, but I guess I could do what my doctor was recommending is what are the occasionally do a fast, to help the metabolism kick in a gear. So this could be my fast. I'll just wait till dinner to eat.
let's see here.
Joe, come back. We'll be nice. Apple II forever.
Yeah, I remember when I went to the Boy Scout National Jamboree in '88. I think it was '89. Apple had a big presence there, and the original case, padded case that was made for the Apple IIc didn't actually fit the 2C, so they were giving them away for free, and people
Right.
were in line for like huge lines. And you'd get one every time you'd stand in line. You could get as many as you wanted, but the line was pretty long.
What was this K-Fest you were saying?
No, it was the Boy Scout National Jamboree
Oh, okay.
in Fort A.P. Hill in 1988. And I remember standing in line twice because I got one, and someone offered me like $100 for it. And so I took the money and then went in line again because it was like an hour and a half line.
Wow.
When you got in line, you had to go into this like trailer that they showed you various things where they had like an Apple II E that was hooked up to a Fisher Technic robotic arm thing, and they had other sorts of games and such. And
But man, getting $100 in 1983, that was a lot of money in 1983.
Yeah, it was, because it was funny because when I got my second one, my roommate, um, he he accused me of stealing his, because what had happened was his got stolen, and when he says, "Oh, did you take my thing?" and I'm like, "Yeah, I stole your thing," because he was constantly blaming me for stealing stuff when it was like he was just leaving stuff wherever and people would pick it up. I mean, he wouldn't leave it like in his tent or something. And it was funny because I said that, and then he kept going off. And then when I got my second one, I brought it back, and they're like, "See, he stole it. He's got it." Even though mine was still in the plastic, and his had been out of the plastic, and he'd been using it as um, like a saddle pack or something to carry with him and carry stuff with him.
Yeah,
So
satchel or whatever.
yeah, and I'm like, mine's brand new. He's been using his for 2 days now. And mine's still in the plastic. I just was in line to get it. So, and they're like, "Well, we can't prove it." And he's like, "Oh, I want it back." And he tried to take it out of my hands, and they're like, "No, no, it's obviously not yours." And he goes, "Well, he probably took mine and then sold it and then got another one to cover himself." And I mean, I was just done with it. Where the heck is he?
Are you still trying to find Tim?
Yeah, it's gonna bug me until I remember.
I want to send him a message. Let's see. Uh, here.
All right, let's see here.
I just sent him a message, so we'll see if he responds. We'll see who gets it first. I get a response from him, or you find him. Yeah, but I do like the color computer. I the first one that the Coco 2 that I got from Tim, I did a video on my channel about it where it was a barn find, like legit. He got it from a barn or whatever, and
Mm-hmm.
um, there was a dead carcass in the box when I got it from him. I did not show that on camera. I discussed it a little bit, but yeah, he was like, "Yeah, I'm sorry." He goes, "I didn't even look in the box." I'm like, "Well,
Is
yeah."
that the one? Oh, there it is. It's Timbo Tech.
Oh, okay. Let's see. So, oh, I see you typing something. Let me hear. I'll edit my thing here at Tim Bow.
Dash Tech.
Oh, there it is. Oh yeah, yeah. There's his picture. Okay.
Yep.
All right. Yeah, I just edited my my deal. uh, Great. See, another time suck.
Another time suck.
I mean, I stopped using Facebook probably 7, 8 years ago, and for that reason, I was playing games on there with my brother, like Farmville and Mafia Wars, and I had no idea that when you were playing Mafia Wars or Farmville, anytime you did something, it posted to your Facebook timeline.
Yeah.
It'd be
A
like
lot of
Sean,
them do that. A lot of the
yeah.
games do that.
So
Yeah.
my family was getting annoyed with me, and I'm like, why? I'm like, I'm just playing a game. They're like, have you not looked at your timeline? And it was like hundreds of like, Sean took out this guy, or Sean now has corn on his farm, or whatever. Like it was nuts. So I went and deleted all that crap, and then stopped playing those games on Facebook.
Yeah, I don't use Facebook too much.
Fake book, nice.
I don't got. I mean, all that stuff, like you said, sucks up time. I mean, it just takes away your time.
Yep.
I mean, I could
Um,
be here instead soldering something.
I mean, yeah, here I am on your stream when I could be having lunch. This is a time
Yeah.
suck.
Uh,
Oh, I'm sorry that we're preventing you from eating lunch.
No, that's okay. No.
no, well, you can always get your lunch and bring it there. We never see you anyway.
I know. Well, so yeah, the deal with that, I think Sloopy probably doesn't know, but
Trina.
yeah, Trina, yeah, the my thing, because I've been on camera before. I just set this goal for my channel. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna hit 10,000 subscribers, and then I'll do quote the face reveal,
All
and
right.
and I'm already close to 6,000.
Wow.
Oh, Tim just replied. Uh, there and just got added by USB. All right, yeah, I just told him that you um, made me come to the Coco Discord. What was I saying? Yeah, so that I wanted to set a goal. So I'm like, well, maybe by the end of the year I'll hit 10,000 subscribers. I'm almost to 6,000, and but here's the deal: I'm going to VCF Midwest. So if I don't hit 10,000 by then, it's going to happen anyways because people make videos and take pictures and whatever. So the joke with that is I'll be like the unknown comic and I'll wear a brown paper sack and walk around VCF Midwest.
No, but haven't you been to some different conferences in the past few years?
I have, yeah.
Okay, because I remember on one actually VCF, I saw a picture of actually you
Yep. Yeah, it's there, but yeah, I don't, it's
because in the comment below it actually mentioned who it was. So
yep.
Yeah, I thought it was hilarious. Robin of
8-bit show and tell.
yes,
Yeah.
no,
he
I
talk,
don't. But
yeah, he talks about showing his face and such, and it was funny because I didn't realize who he was until VCF Midwest last year when Canadian Retro Things Ken said, "Yeah, that's Robin from 8-bit show and tell," and I'm like, "Oh, cool," because I mean I've known him from VCF Midwest for years, for a few years, but I didn't put the two and two together because when you watch his stream, it's a very calm and mellow person, and you're not and when you meet him, it's like
The voice doesn't match what he looks like either.
right. That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. I mean, when you meet him, you expect someone who's a little. When you see him, you expect someone who's a little bit more gruff, and a voice that's a little bit more gravelly, not the flowing peace and calm that his voice is on his streams. And it's funny because then for VCF Midwest, he took a video of me while I'm holding an Atari, and I said, "Yeah, wow, I finally meet Robin face to face, and you can't wait until you meet him," or something like that.
Well, that's the same with like Adrian. He and we've known each other. We've been friends since 2018 officially, but we were doing Craigslist deals prior to that and never put two and two together that we both had YouTube channels.
Mm-hmm.
We were just doing Craigslist stuff. And then one day in early 2018, we were doing another one of our trade deals, and I'd been subscribed to his channel too, and didn't realize it. And I mean, I knew I was subscribed to his channel, but I didn't, put the face, with the channel and all. Because when you see people outside of where you normally know them from, it doesn't always click.
Right.
And we were talking, and then all of a sudden something clicked in my head, and I'm like, wait, you're Adrian Black, right? And he's like, yeah, and I'm like, I'm Geek with Social Skills. No way! Oh my gosh! And like, we've been like in real life friends ever since then because it was. So now we don't do Craigslist stuff anymore. We just call each other up or mess. Hey, I got this. I need this or whatever, and we just do it.
Yeah, it was funny when I first met him at VCF Midwest, and I told him, I says, "Hey, hi, how you doing? I'm Sloopy and all this," and told him I was going to give him a couple stuff and things, and we talked for a bit, and I mean, we hung out a lot. I mean, have you been to VCF Midwest before?
I have not.
Okay, well, on Friday and Saturday nights, well, especially Saturday night, they'll have a big party in the motel lobby and such, and everybody will be drinking, and they'll have computers and such set up, and they'll be doing various things. And while we're there, he's got his arm around me like we've been best buds for years and such, and it was all cool. And and I told him that because I don't actually have a real job, my income's very limited, and he's the only YouTube person that I actually subscribe to, or that I have the Patreon for. And he was like, "Oh, I greatly appreciate it," and all that. And so I talked to him a few more times in the Patreon thing, and then so by the time VCF rolled around, I figured, oh, I'm just a random person. He's not going to remember me or anything, and I'll remind him who I was, and he'll be like, "Oh yeah, I remember you," and things like that. But no, not at all. I'm sitting in this room in front of the table for Retro Innovations, and he's like across the room, and he goes, "Oh my God, it's Sloopy! Hey, Sloopy!" And he comes over and gives me a big hug, and everyone's looking, and like, because I mean, everybody knows who he is, and they're like, "Who is it that he's talking to that he seems to know so well?" Because it must be like someone even more famous than him or something with the way he was reacting.
Mhm.
And people are just looking at us, and I'm like, wow, I must be famous.
Well, that's how he is. What people think how he is on his channel is like an actor or whatever, but like he's
Yeah.
genuinely a good person in real
Yeah.
life. He's very personable in person, you know.
Yeah. I find a lot of people are like that, but the thing is that the energy that they show on their stream isn't always necessarily the energy they have in real life. Like a lot of people will say that online and such, I'm a lot more forward and personable than I am in real life. I'm much more reserved in real life until I get to know you, which is kind of true. And he is exactly the same person in his videos as he is in real life.
Yep, and when you get to know him even more, there's even more shenanigans that happen. I just got a message back from Tim. We were talking about the Discord thing. He's like, I saw you on the Taylor and Amy Discord. Were they the ones to break you? And I said, nope, it was Sloopy.
Yeah.
What do you say about that?
He just laughed.
Yeah. Sloopy, I didn't know about you until I saw actually Chris and Justin stop at your place in the middle of the night on the way drive back home from actually VCF East.
Yeah, I was actually invited to one of the streams. I think it was like it was either the week before or the week after Frodo Jedi, but I wasn't able to attend that stream because Trina invited me. And, I didn't really get any invites after that, not knowing that in the Macintosh Friends, it's like, hey, whoever wants to join can join. I didn't realize it was like an open invitation. I thought it was like a specific invitation, so I didn't really. And then when I said, hey, yeah, I didn't come in because I wasn't invited a while ago, like 2-3 weeks ago, it was like, oh. And Trina's like, yeah, you're always invited. We like you. You're good. So,
I'm gonna have another legend coming back, and I mean, once I can corner him because he wants to get back into the community, which is the one that actually originally created these. Doug Brown is gonna make an actually appearance again on one of our streams. So I don't know if any people know about him and that, but he'll be coming back into the scene soon. Hopefully. So it'll be nice to have someone. I mean, he was in it years ago, and then he got burnt out, and he stepped out for a bit.
Yeah, I mean, I've been kind of known in the Atari community and the Commodore community, so I just never really did much with the Mac community because I was so much involved in the 8-bit communities, and I actually know the early Macs pretty well because I was a technician and consultant in the during the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
So, so I know them quite well, and that's why I have all this Mac stuff, because a lot of it's just left over from that. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of it was sold, but like, I mean, I used to have a 2GS with a Transwarp GS, two SCSI cards, the hand scanner card, the whole nine.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I had a 2FX that obviously I just sold to Frodo Jedi. I mean, at one time I had 10 Mac Pluses with keyboards and mice. What was it? 4 SEs, 3 SE30s. I had the SE30 with the radius pivot display and card. Had a Quadra 605, 610. The
So
Dog
basically,
card.
you had all of them with all the accessories, is what you're getting.
Yeah.
There was only one. I mean, I still probably have a Radius rocket somewhere around here. The only thing that I didn't have that I really wanted was the Brainstorm accelerator for the Mac SE.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you're familiar with that.
No.
Basically, it replaces the main chip in the SE and
Mhm.
runs the whole machine at 16 megahertz.
Wow.
Yeah, they were kind of rare because they were a little expensive, but they were awesome. I'd used a few SEs with them in it, and it was like night and day. I mean, they were even faster than like a Classic 2.
Mm-hmm.
Even though the Classic 2 is a 16 megahertz 030, the SE with the 16 megahertz 68,000 was actually faster.
Hmm. Yeah, I never really got into the Apples until actually recently, believe it or not. I mean, I was after my Commodore days. I really went more to the actually PC side.
Yeah.
And that was my career, and my development levels also was all on the PC side. But it's when I retired, I needed something for me to do, and I always liked the older computers, and especially the Apples. I just the shame I never owned one, but I always liked them. I always kept up with them, but and then I decided, well, you know what? Let me let me actually see what I can do with this. And believe it or not, I actually enjoyed the hell out of it. It's fun. And so I don't mind it at all. I like ordering these boards and building this stuff and making them and designing these things and that. So, oh, I looked some into the 8266 earlier this morning too. And so I might be able to actually use that also for the Wi-Fi modems.
Oh yeah. Well, you should. There's no reason you shouldn't be able to, because I
Yeah,
mean, more than capable of it.
yeah, yeah. So it's just a matter of running that on it. But in the meantime of all this, I got one built, one more built,
Yeah.
three more to go.
Yeah, because the one that I have, it's been tested on like 15, 20 different computers.
Yeah.
Works great. Unfortunately,
Yeah,
the
but
guy.
there's not too much to actually do with them, really. I mean, right now, I mean, there you can telnet or connect into actually BBSs over the internet, and that's about it.
Yeah, yeah, they're limited use.
So,
But I actually use them because I actually put them on the Tandy Color computer and use it for. There's a program called DriveWire that lets you use a PC as a disk drive for the Tandy Coco.
yeah,
And this normally you'd connect a RS-232 cable to the serial port on the Coco and connect it to your PC. With this, it just does it wirelessly, so you don't have to have your Coco in the same
wow,
area
sweet,
tethered to the PC.
sweet. I mean, that's what I find interesting and so cool is all this other third that has been created and software that's been made. I mean, it just tells you how much talent is actually out there that it's not that's not being driven or controlled by any organization. It's just people. I mean, that's what I find so interesting. So much stuff that people actually develop, create, and make available, and so forth. And but the bad part is, after a couple of years, it may die down. People actually forget about it. The actual creators don't support it anymore, or they move on.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's how I feel about the Naboo. I'm wondering about that. You know, I developed my software for it, and I've had more fun with the Naboo PC the last 5 6 months than I have with any other old computer in a long time. But I'm wondering, 6 months from now, will people even still care? It'll be really interesting to see, because when there's always
Right.
some new shiny thing, they're like, ooh, 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 and then it just kind of dies
now,
off.
I think as long as it doesn't stay stagnant, as long as there's always stuff, new things being done with it. I mean, shoot. I mean, we can probably push. Y'all can probably push the actual envelope on that machine so much.
I mean, it's already happening. People, we've got recreated floppy controllers and serial controllers, and there's people working on making like new boards. And Rudy of Rudy's Retro Intel did a diagnostic document that's ever growing, to help people figure out how to fix them when they break and stuff. So there is some activity going on outside of just the software, but you
Yeah,
know,
but y'all got actually CPM running on that thing, right?
correct. Yeah, CPM 2.2. You can run directly in like my adapter software and the other adapter software, and then if you boot from an external drive, you can boot CPM 3.1. Um,
Okay. So, and you said there's actually serial cards for it, right?
correct. Yeah, serial cards, floppy
Okay.
controllers.
So then you can probably connect one of those Wi-Fi modems to it, and with actually
Yep.
CPM and with the terminal program, away you go.
Yeah, yeah. It's in the works. There's people doing lots of stuff. I've just been keeping my focus to the software side of it because again, there's only so many cycles in a day, and
Yeah, but
so
you
much
see,
time.
a lot of this stuff might already be actually made. It's just how people actually apply it.
Yeah, well,
Okay.
there's somebody working on the FujiNet for the Naboo as well.
Oh,
So that'll be pretty cool once that
yeah.
gets fully going.
Because I mean, like the Wi-Fi modem Sloopy has, that's actually DB25, very compatible with a lot more machines. If there is a serial card for the Naboo, that can go in there. CPM boots up, and the terminal program will probably see the actually serial card, which will then actually see the modem, and
Yep.
away you go. You can, I mean, that's your terminal already.
Yeah.
It is stuff that's actually already out there. It's just will it see it?
Yeah.
You see, I mean, under CPM, I'm sure there is actually terminal software.
There is. I actually have got some stuff that I use on my Amstrad PCW 8256. I recently built a modem for that, and found some software that runs under CPM for that. So yeah, that's the thing. So there's CPM, but yeah, you got to match up all the other stuff, the memory and um, timing stuff. Yeah, there's all kinds of funky little things, but it'll happen. Someone else is going to do it though.
Yeah, I mean, there's always ways of actually tweaking things. I mean, with me working on these and fixing them and so forth, I see some things I can change here and there. I have a couple other boards that are coming that will help me with my testing, and then I'll show what those are. Hopefully, it will make it easier. I have an idea for a testing method, but that's gonna involve some microcontroller and Wi-Fi and actually coding. And I don't know if I want to get into that, but anyway. You see, so but I mean, there's so many different things to do, so many different ways you can do it. You see, I mean, as the same as on a sim, I went and put an actually AT Tiny. Now I've got an AT Tiny inside an old Mac that is getting power from it and can access certain data lines, or it's got capability that you can still monitor different things with it. Imagine what you can do with that. You see, so
Yeah. What are you doing, Sloopy?
Replying to someone's email. Am I too loud?
No, no, you just had a very intense look on your face.
Yeah, the Easy Flash 3s were supposed to come in on May 1st. They didn't actually get in until May. Well, they actually came in, but they were supposed to come ship direct to me, but they went to Jim, and then I had to pick them up from Jim at VCF. At Cocoa Fest, So I didn't get them until like May 3rd, and then we had this problem, so it has to be fixed. And someone's like, "You said that they would be starting to ship May 1st, and it's May 25th. What's going on?" So I'm trying to gingerly word it so that it sounds nice, and tell them that they're in the second batch and it'll be in the mail on May 30th.
Yeah, that's the thing when you do software or hardware, the whole support side of things. And my software on, I think it was May 1st, I finally put my source code up on GitHub, and now I'm getting all these people, oh, can you do this and can you do that? I'm like, the source code's on GitHub, help yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Do a
Yes, I
fork or whatever. And if I think it's something that I'm interested in, I can add it in. Otherwise, it's open source. Go and have fun and make whatever you want to make with it.
Yeah.
yeah. You could say, yes, I can, but it'll take a while. If you'd like to do it yourself, the source is available here.
Yeah, I know people are like, "Oh, you must be making all kinds of money." I said, "No, this is a hobby passion project. I don't get paid to do it. I'm doing it because I like it and I want to share what I'm doing, and that's that." But I'm like, if you want to send me money, I won't say no. but I'm not asking for it. Some people understand, like people like us get that are actually doing projects, software or hardware. We all get it, but a lot of the end users don't. They just expect, oh, I bought this thing
Mm-hmm.
or I got this thing for free, and we're like Best Buy or Walmart where they can just hammer us 24/7 with support
Yeah,
stuff.
there's a reason why I refuse to absolutely no way, shape, or form sell anything on eBay.
Yep. Yeah, you got a cool thing. You just talk to Joe's Computer Museum, and he'll add it to jcm-1.com, and he can handle it. Right, Joe? He's still in the chat.
Well, one of the things, and I've mentioned it to some others too before. I have a son that's got a little bit of special needs, right? And he's never going to go to college and hold a normal job. Um, so he's in a he's already 20, and he's in a day work program that's ran by a private organization subsidized by the actual government, um, over there in actually Florida. And what they do is they can handle very simple, basic repetitive tasks. Okay, so what is putting one actually resistor on a board through some through holes and passing it on to the next person to actually solder? Repetitive task. The
Mm-hmm.
same thing you do
Yep.
constantly. So one of my ideas was, I mean, if I did develop something that needs a lot of assembly and that, see if his actually day work organization would actually take on that project. And now here you're busy helping, and you're busy helping special needs people, adults in that community, and they'll build it for almost nothing because they're actually subsidized by the actual government. You see, so what's the thing with them building it and then putting it in a package and putting it in a box and actually shipping it out?
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, they
It
they
gives
get
them
some
work.
money. Yeah, they get some work, some experience. It helps a vendor, and especially if the government is subsidized, putting money into it, then it's good.
Yeah, that's what I see from it. So I mean, but I don't have nothing that needs a lot of actually assembly yet.
Well, Sloopy is available for hire, apparently. You know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but how busy are your days? I mean, that's the thing. Are you constantly busy, Sloopy, or do you got
no,
some slow
no,
period?
I've got plenty of time. I literally don't have a job, so this is all I do, and because I don't have anything else to do, I do it expediently, but not. I mean, like I could have had them all done if there was a need for them to be done immediately. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
Well, apparently there's one person that needs it immediately. That's bugging
yeah,
you.
Well, I mean, it's more of I don't mean immediate. Like I could have had them done like weeks ago. I could have had them done like 2 days ago, at most. Because it was like once I got the first batch done and shipped, I took a break from doing it, just to do some other stuff. But yeah, I actually do assembly for other people, and right now I don't have anything except for this stuff to do. So
Yeah. I mean, I do have things out there, but they're just not selling enough yet. I mean, they're just selling here and there. I mean, they're not that much stuff.
yeah, we'll get the word out there that
You see, my team and I actually created this actually meter.
yeah,
Okay, and all it is, it's just a board like actually this,
hmm
and with our actually 3D printed DB19 connector, it takes 7 pins,
yep,
and then all it is just oh some of these pre-made screens, okay, voltage screens with some nylon risers and that. I mean, actually studs, and you put them on, and then you solder it into the connection points here.
yeah,
It's got a mini DIN connector on it, 4 pin, same as the Apple ADB cable connector.
hmm
Okay, soldered on there, and then actually put into the case. That's it. And what
yeah,
it does is that it connects to the floppy port, and it tells you what your voltages are coming out of the board. That's it.
yeah, yeah. I'm familiar with it. You've showed it before. And it's
You
pretty
see,
simple.
so it's a very simple device. The other thing it has on it is that you can use an actually extension cable. So then you can plug this cable into the back, and then actually bring this out to the front of the machine, and then this actually plugs into the back here.
Yeah. Do you have it listed in Joe's computer museum?
No, it's not in Joe's. It is on my coffee site.
Ah, okay.
You see, but I mean, we sent a free one out to actually Bruce over in actually Australia, a Brackus creation.
Yep.
We sent one to Steve, and then actually Joakim sent one to actually JDW also over in actually Japan.
Yeah. Why isn't your coffee site in your description for the show?
It actually is. Well, I mean, not in the description down below. It is here where it says actually support me on Coffee Vintage. You see it down there in the bottom, but that's
Yeah.
yeah,
Not easy to see.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
on.
I should put it more in my other things. So
Yeah, you should put it in the description down below so people can click on it.
yeah. So I've got that meter there. I got plenty of RAM. Like these are the 4 megabit RAMs. I just sold 5 of them. Five actually sets of them. Last
Yes.
actually night.
Yeah, I was here.
Okay, yeah. So
'Cause I
I've
did-
got the RAM. We're gonna have the TashTwenty on there soon.
Yeah, because I jokingly said now I don't now my SE30 won't have any RAM.
I got more. I've got plenty more. So, and that was version 1. So I'm glad that all the version 1 is now gone, and now I have the other one which can handle the actually blinking LED. Some other things we're working on is the TashTwenties. I've got the Apple Cat boards. Now, one of the other members of my team is also involved with some other people that are involved with the recreation of the Apple Tech Step, because they're going to have a new one coming out soon, a recreation of it. So that may be one item too that we're going to have listed on there. It's not my item, it's not our item, it's just an item some others have created, and they may want to sell it. So I really don't have much that needs assembling. I mean, it's yet. I mean, one other project we're working on is actually power supply conversions for
So
the
what
L.
you can do, you could fly Sloopy out to the Caymans, and then he could put on like one of those sandwich board like A-frame things, and walk around the island promoting your stuff.
Do you do you have the SE30 reloaded PCBs?
Yeah.
How much do you sell them? Sell the PCB for?
You see, here's one that I just finished building. I need to finish testing it out.
Yeah, I saw your stream the other day for it.
So I need to. I don't. Last I was selling the boards, I think they were like $22 plus actually shipping.
Yeah, because I'd be interested in just the PCB.
Okay, well, I may be able to actually handle that for you. I need to see how much I still got left because I've got 5 boards waiting in Florida for me to do a transfer on.
Yeah, if you need to subcontract the transfer work, I can do that too.
So, oh, that's the part that I like. I actually enjoyed. I actually enjoy doing them, and I've got classic boards too. I mean, I've got the. I
Yeah.
I just recently bought the classics, and I've done 2 of them already.
Are they tested and good?
Yes.
Yeah, then I might be interested in it's a classic, not a classic 2.
Right. This is just a classic. See,
Yeah, then I'd be interested.
that's
in
the
one of
back
them.
side, and then that's the top side.
Yeah, I'd probably be interested in one of them also.
Okay, there is one capacitor back here that was not on the actually pick and place file
Yeah,
that you'll have to add, and then there is another one that needs to be changed because for the sound,
yeah.
it was the wrong value. Okay, so those are the only 2 things.
All right, that's not a big deal.
So, and I do know which ones they are. So, but yeah, this is the board that was made by actually Kai Robinson.
Yeah.
And then I know there's also actually reloaded now for the LC, LC2, LC3, and some of these other ones. I haven't ordered them yet, but yeah, let me see. I mean, I'm going up to Florida next week Wednesday, so maybe I'll take some extras and then I can mail them out.
Okay, yeah, because yeah, the floppy port voltage meter, I'd be interested in one of those. The
Now, well, if you want to, what we can do, what I can do, so that it's not, it's a bit, it's we have a version of this which is actually version 1 of the board
yeah.
that we're doing as a kit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, instead of one actually ready built.
Right.
The only difference with version 1 is instead of the connector being back here, this comes out a little bit more and it's here on the side.
Yeah, that's not a problem.
Okay, the only thing I didn't like about that was that on some boards, like on the, I think, and on the classic here, for example, it only has one ADB port and it sits right next to the floppy.
Mm-hmm.
So if you've got this plugged in, you can't have a cable. You can't have a keyboard plugged in.
Mm.
That's why we actually moved it.
Ah.
But it's something that some people can actually live with, and some can't. And
yeah, I would need it more for testing and such, so it's not that big of a deal.
yeah.
who
So I
needs a
mean,
keyboard?
this is real cool because what is nice with it is that you can see the numbers with the board on actually load.
Right.
You see, and we have made a change. Now instead of buying a whole cable with this already on it,
Mm-hmm.
we made this without the cable, so it just has a DB19 on it and an actually mini DIN here on the back,
Mm-hmm.
and then you can use your same Apple ADB cable, the keyboard cable.
Huh.
So then we don't even have to provide a cable, and you don't have to pay for it.
Yeah, I have to see what my SC30 has in it for RAM, and my because I know that my 2CI has 4 16 meg sims and 4 meg sims in it.
Mm-hmm. Well, right now I've got the 4 megs. So
Yeah.
so when you've got 4 of them, you have got 16 megs in there. Joaquin is working on a 16 megabyte sim now.
Yeah, I don't really need anything that large because
Not many boards take it.
Yeah,
Not
well,
that many boards taking actually 16 megabyte 30 pin.
yeah, well, not only that, but um, the machines that have 30-pin SIMs run out of computrons before you use up all the memory.
Yeah, so he's working on one, but I don't know if we're gonna really pursue it because I don't see the point.
Yeah,
And
because
then actually 16 meg sim 30 pin.
the 16 meg 30-pin SIMs I have are like twice as high as a normal SIM. So they
But
don't.
what I do have a shitload of because I bought actually 400 of them is the actually 30 pin sim actually sockets.
Ah,
Okay, because those are very hard to get.
with the metal clips.
Yes, metal clips.
Yeah, those some of them I might be interested in.
Okay, I mean I bought about 400 of them.
Yeah, because my CI has the metal clips, but my SI doesn't, and I don't think my the SE30 definitely doesn't have the metal clipped ones.
Yeah, that's why anytime I do an actually reloaded board,
Mm-hmm.
you get actually brand new sim sockets and a brand new actually ROM actually sim also,
Okay.
because I've got the 30 pins and I've got the 64 pins. It's some of them when you go try to take that off, it just melts away. It just falls apart on you.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not worth actually recycling them. Um,
Yeah.
and
You have four of the or 10 sets of the blank 4 meg sims.
the what now?
The 4 meg sims, the 4
Hmm.
meg blank PCB. It says you have only 10 left. So hopefully,
That is the blank. That's the ones without chips.
right. Hopefully,
Okay, version one.
hopefully next week when I get money, I'll
Uh,
we'll have some.
yeah. Well, I mean, what do you want? Do you want it with the chip on it already built, or you want them blank?
Either way, I mean, I can assemble them myself. That's not a big deal.
Yeah, but do you actually have donor chips memory?
I probably do because I got a big box of RAM, especially 72-pin sims where you can pull them off.
Right. Well, that's what I do. I buy 32 meg. Sorry. I buy 16 megabyte sims
Yep.
that are actually 72 pins,
Yeah, because I have a bunch of those.
and I just recycle the chips because all for one sim I can make 8.
Mm-hmm.
Well, sorry, I can make 4.
Yeah.
You see, so that's what I do. But I mean, I do have. There are what you see 10 there is each set is actually four actually sims. So that's actually 40 sims.
Yeah. Yeah, I understand that. That's why I said I only need like 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Good.
So you would just buy 2 or 3 sets, and that's just actually $4 a set. So that's not too much. Now that is without the chip and without the capacitor on there. But I mean, that's just a very small little capacitor, and the chips are really easy to put on.
Yeah, 10 nanofarads.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got plenty of those.
Yeah. So it's a very. I have a bunch here that I built that I mean, and I need to make some more because I need to send them to actually Jake so that if any sell, he can actually ship them out. So
Yeah.
I have a bunch of them here. So
Yeah. Yeah, I have I used to buy end reels of tapes to get parts. I've got if you ever need a 4.7K resistor, I've got over 7,000 of them.
Oh wow.
Yeah. It was like I bought a 5,000 piece reel and it didn't come in. And so I bought another 2,500 piece reel and that came in. And then the original 5,000 piece reel came in. And so now I have over 7,000 of them that I don't really need that many.
Yeah.
And I've
what I've recently been able to get my hands on was some of these other actually items that are a bit rare. Like some of the components to actually fix the analog boards on the 128 and the 512 are very hard to find. And I came across a company in actually Florida there that seems to have a lot of actually surplus old equipment, and I bought quite a few from actually them. So
Yeah.
if you need anything, look on eBay for a company called what is it, Boca Semi. It is actually two different words. Boca, Boca, Semi, Semi, and they stock all sorts of old components. Now, some of their prices may be a bit crazy, but you can always make them an offer. I've been in their building. I've been to their shop there, their store, and it's just crazy how much stuff is in there.
Were they
They normally don't do sales to people off the road. Mainly they only do mainly actually online. So when I went, they were like blown away why actually someone's coming there.
Yeah. Yeah, I know of a place up in Pennsylvania that they absolutely refuse to deal with anyone face to face.
Yeah.
And the thing is that their prices, they sell refurbished PCs. Their prices are cheap, but their shipping is pretty high. And I offered to buy 5 refurbished PCs from them, but I would only do it with local pickup.
Yeah.
And they're like, sorry, we can't do that.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
They're
you don't
making
wanna
their
know.
money on the shipping, is what they're doing.
Well, nah, they don't use the discounted shipping that you can get through eBay or something. They just use regular take it to the post office shipping, which is expensive. Because I figured it out to see if they were trying to make money off the shipping, and when I did it up in like USPS.com or Stamps.com, the price that they had for shipping was usually within $5 of what they were asking. So it wasn't that far out of line, but I didn't want to spend what was it 5 times $40 on shipping when the place is only an hour and a half drive away. So
Yeah.
because it'd be cheaper for me just to put gas in my car and drive up there and pick them up, but they were like, no, we don't do local sales.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I mean, Boca Semi. The only reason why I went in there was because it was a Friday, and I was flying out Sunday,
yeah,
so I had no time for me to order online and for it to get to me.
yeah,
So then I asked him, hey, I says, can I just come by there? I mean, I don't live here. I live overseas. I'm leaving Sunday. I want this stuff for me to take it with me. So, but I mean, since actually then, I bought so much more from them. I needed some very rare items for my Lisa, and
Mhm.
I got the and I found them there. I needed some of the video RAM for the actually SE30.
yeah.
So I found it there. Um,
Ooh,
yeah, there were some other chips that I needed that I got from them. Now they used to have, I don't know if they still do. They used to have a buttload of Commodore and Atari and other stuff too. So if you're needing some of those, okay, check them
Mhm.
out. Even if they don't have it listed, you can always contact them, and they have other suppliers around the world that they use
Yeah.
that that they can get it from. Like for example, I needed the actually cop chip for the actually Lisa. That's next to impossible to find. And if you
Mhm.
can't find it, you're paying anywhere from $50 up for it.
Yeah.
Okay. And they were able to find some for me, but it was actually $75. I wasn't gonna pay that.
Oh,
So because I can do a cop chip emulation with a board and 2 other chips. Okay, so I'm gonna be doing that instead.
interesting. They have the 6809 but they don't have any 6822s. Damn. They have 6845.
And so you're finding some of the things you need.
Everything around it,
Uh-huh.
that might be useful, but it doesn't show price. Okay. But yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, there's a lot of stuff from them. Their prices could be a bit way off whack. So um, sorry, I'm just trying to see some other stuff here.
All right, guys, for real, I'm gonna take off. I got some work stuff to do, and I will eat tonight, so I will not go hungry.
Yeah.
That- that's
All
usually
right.
good.
Okay.
So yeah, it was good hanging out for the last couple hours, and have a good rest of your
Yeah.
day.
All right.
You
All right.
too.
You too, man. Take care. Yeah, I really don't have much. I mean, I'm just home today too. I mean, being actually retired and not working, I'm here quite a bit. So
Yeah, I wish I was retired.
yeah, it's nice to be able to do it at a younger age.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I need to go get some stuff done myself. So
Okay. Yeah, I think I'm gonna end up with the stream too because I need to go. I need to go do something here. I was doing some laundry, and soon I gotta go over to my mom's. I normally go there sometime around 4:30, 5 o'clock, 5:30.
yeah, it's yeah, I've got about 3 hours until my stream. So all you
Yeah.
people out in viewer land, remember the Coco Talk game. I mean, the Coco Nation Game On Challenge Live is in 3.5 hours. So be there or be square.
and and where can they find some stuff on it?
The
Discord or
yeah, the Coco Nation you can find on YouTube under the Coco Nation or on Twitch under the Coco Nation. Um, if you just search Coco Nation, you can find it or thecoconation.com.
yeah, okay. All right, well that's good to know. I never really got into the Cocoa color ones. I did more during high school on the actually trash 80s on the Model 1, on the Model 2s and 3s.
Yeah, I was more into the Atari and the Commodore,
Mhm.
but a friend of mine about back in 2009, 2010 gave me a Coco 3, and it just sat here because I thought that they have transcodes which basically take the original arcade game because a lot of arcade games used 6809s.
Mhm.
They transcoded the arcade game for the Coco 3. So it's quite literally using the original ROM code for the original arcade game.
Mhm.
So like Donkey Kong, it's like exactly like the arcade game. Uh,
Mhm.
Defender, um, Robotron, and there was one or two others where it's like it actually fully emulates the arcade game.
Mhm.
So
Now that's one of the things that I wanted to try to get my hands on too, and try to see what I can do with it. I like to get a real arcade cabinet,
ah,
an old
I
one.
just yeah, I just gave Frodo Jedi mine.
So yeah, but you see, for me, I got to deal with the shipping and all this other crap. I mean, it's just ridiculous for it to come to me.
What I
So
would what I'd probably recommend is you just get the main board and the controls
hmm
because the thing is that the monitor is just a 16 kilohertz monitor,
hmm
a 15 kilohertz monitor, which you probably already have, like an NERGB monitor,
hmm
and the controls and the main board are the main things that make up the cabinet. The rest is just wood and physical size.
yeah. But what about the power supplies and that?
They use standard 5 and 12 volts.
Uh huh.
Except for the monitor, they use just standard 5 and 12 volts.
Huh.
So,
Interesting.
and I'm sure you have something like that around.
Yeah, I probably do. I'm sure.
So yeah, just go on eBay, look for a board, especially if you get one that's called JAMMA, JAMMA.
hmm
Actually have a standard connector that all the boards will follow. Um, that you can it actually it uses a standard connector for the controls, for the inputs, and for the video output and the power, so
hmm
that any board that's JAMMA compatible can be plugged into that connector and you can use it.
Wow, interesting to know.
And
Yeah.
there are a lot of arcade games that a lot of popular arcade games that use the JAMA connector.
Yeah, I know. There's some on the island that I mean I've seen them around in different places, and then all of a sudden they disappear because they actually broke down or something.
Right.
And I mean I'm trying to find out who owns them and this and that, but I'm just not getting too much luck.
Yeah.
It's like people don't want to they don't want to sell it or give it away or they I don't know, they think they can fix it or something, and it's not that easy. So
No, it's not.
but but it is something I would like to throw my skills at one day and see, maybe I can fix one or fix a couple around and see. So
Yeah.
there are some here on the island. I just don't know who the owners are.
Yeah, because I mean the thing is the boards in them are like
Big. Uh,
they're big relatively speaking, but compared to the cabinet, they're nothing. I
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
they're actually like um, they're probably usually about 30 centimeters by 20 centimeters,
Hmm.
and they're anywhere from 2 to 3 centimeters high, and that's the entire board. The only other things are the controls, which here is this box contains a joystick and 10 buttons.
Hmm.
So basically, a board that big and then a box this big for the controls is probably a lot easier to ship to an island than
Yeah.
the whole arcade cabinet, which can be like 5, 6 feet tall. And
Yep.
uh,
Yep. That's why I'm trying to find one locally because I know they're here, but I just getting getting my hands on one is the problem. But then too, you have a lot of them that are here that are the more actually modern games,
yeah,
which is a
and
whole completely different beast.
and for like $100, $200, you can get the PCB. So
Yeah. So I'll have to look some more on it, but I'm just so swamped with all this other stuff that I don't have. do I really want to go down that major rabbit hole?
right,
So, but anyway, all right.
all
So
right,
let me get going here too. So and let you go and get your stuff done too.
okay,
So everyone else that's been watching, thank you so much for your time and actually hanging out with us here. I know some of it has been kind of slow, but hey, it's just we're here to chit chat, to talk about things, learn, and
hmm
try to actually build some things and fix some things and now and then. And I do have three more to build here, but I'll probably do those actually off a stream because I need to go get all my stuff together.
yeah,
So we will keep on going, and I don't know if anyone is streaming tonight, but if someone is, please try to make an effort to go and watch them. I know Sloopy is going to be there on Coco Nation, but I don't know. I may stop in and take a look and see what it is about. So
yeah.
I have never looked at it. So anyway, thank you everyone, and y'all have a good evening, good morning, good night, good day, whatever it is for you. Thank you. Bye bye. Let me end this.